So two of the world's biggest economies are locking horns, the United States and China. They're in a trade war, and it is getting uglier by the day. Each day brings a new tariff. This is no longer about policy. This has become a contest, with each side trying to outdo the other. Yesterday, the US raised tariffs on China again. The new rate is 145%. 145% tariffs on Chinese goods coming into the US. And today, China hit back. They will tax all US imports at 125% now. At the same time, Beijing has drawn a line. It said that this would be their final move. No more tariff hikes from China after this one. Because frankly, the numbers don't matter anymore. They have stopped making sense. China says the current tariffs are already too high. At these levels, trade between the US and China no longer makes sense. So if Trump raises tariffs again, Beijing says it will not respond, at least not on the tariff front. The Chinese Commerce Ministry issued a statement. It said this numbers game, and I'm quoting, has become a joke. And China's Foreign Ministry went further to say this.
Our countermeasures against the U.S. bullying are not only to protect our legitimate rights and interests, but also to uphold international rules and order, safeguard the common interests of all countries, and maintain international fairness and justice. In the face of U.S. bullying and hegemony, compromise and concession are not a way out.
They're calling the Americans bullies. Trump doesn't seem too bothered, though. He has repeated his offer. Donald Trump wants to sort things out with Xi Jinping. Yesterday, he called the Chinese president a friend.
What happens with China? We would love to be able to work a deal. We're resetting the table. And I'm sure that we'll be able to get along very well. I have great respect for President Xi. He's been, in a true sense, he's been a friend of mine for a long period of time. And I think that we'll end up working out something that's very good for both countries. I look forward to it.
Trump did not have to wait long for a response. Today, China's president broke his silence. Xi Jinping spoke publicly for the first time since the trade war began. And his message to President Trump was clear. We won't be making any deals. In fact, let me quote from what he said. For over 70 years, China's development has relied on self-reliance and hard work, never on handouts from others, and it is not afraid of any unjust suppression. We are not afraid. That is the message from Xi Jinping, and China is hitting back. It is expanding the battlefield. This is not just about tariffs anymore. This dispute is spilling into other areas like people-to-people ties. China has issued a travel warning for the US. It's on your screen now. Take a look. Beijing has advised for its citizens traveling to the US. It says, and I quote, fully assess the risk of traveling to the United States and to travel with caution. And that's not all. They've also issued an advisory for students. Those who are enrolled in American universities, they have been told to assess, and I'm quoting again, assess security risks. Basically, China feels that American campuses are not safe anymore. That's what it's telling its citizens. Like I said, this is not about tariffs. China is firing in all directions, like selling US bonds. They're also called US treasuries. A bond, as you would know, is US government debt. And China owns US bonds worth billions of dollars, about 760 billion at this point. Now, China could sell these bonds. Why does it matter? And how can China weaponize these US bonds? Let me explain. Think of the US government like a trillionaire businessman. Let's name him Uncle Sam. Every year, Uncle Sam needs money. He has to build new roads, new schools. Uncle Sam runs hospitals as well, and they too need funding. And of course, he has to pay salaries. Now, Uncle Sam does not always have enough cash to do all of this, so he borrows. He asks others to lend him some cash. And he promises that he will pay back the loan amount plus a little extra as interest. He will pay all of it back. Now, for this loan, Uncle Sam issues a special contract. A contract that spells out how and when the loan will be repaid and how much interest will be paid with it. This contract is called a bond. So Uncle Sam has his bonds ready. But who will give him the money? He reaches out to an investor called Dragon. For years, investor Dragon has been a good friend to Uncle Sam. He has loaned Uncle Sam large sums of money, and it has worked out well for both sides. Uncle Sam repays the money on time, no missed payments, no defaults. He has been a safe investment for investor Dragon. But now their deal is in trouble because investor Dragon and Uncle Sam have had a fight. They no longer trust each other. So investor Dragon has refused new loans. In fact, he is asking for his money back. So suddenly there's pressure on Uncle Sam because he has to repay the Dragon. So he must get more money, more loans. And because he has upset so many other people too, he has to promise them more interest. In other words, the loans have become more expensive. The debt is piling up. Uncle Sam cannot keep up with his payments. His entire business starts feeling this burden of debt. He cannot pay salaries. He cannot bid for new contracts. His existing projects slow down, and his entire business comes to a grinding halt. Now, let's say Uncle Sam is the US economy and investor Dragon, I'm sure you've guessed it, is China. What happens if China walks away? If it starts dumping US bonds or loans or treasuries, whatever you call it, it could crash the US economy. At the same time, it would hurt China too. Like we just explained, this is a double-edged sword, and China would wield it carefully. Xi Jinping's statement today shows that he is not in a hurry. He is willing to drag this out for as long as it takes. And Donald Trump should know this. Unlike him, Xi Jinping does not have to face an election. He has elected himself as president for life. There is no one to challenge his authority in China at this point. But Trump does not have that kind of time or luxury. He wants a deal with China, and he wants China to ask for it. We say, good luck with that.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.